So Braden Smith returned to Purdue yesterday. Massive news that shook all of college basketball. Also, there were a lot of people in the comments that were like, why is this even news? Obviously, this was expected. Yeah, even if it was expected, it's still news. It's still like confirming that Purdue is going to be everything we kind of hope they would be next year. So, anyways, in the midst of this news dropping, Rafael Davis, former Purdue legend and one of the very best media guys in the sport right now. I love
Our,
his
our,
work.
our, our, I safe to say our guy, we rock with Raphael. Like he showed love to us at the Big Ten media days,
True.
and when we see him, he always shows us love.
Very true. I had a great time on his podcast in the preseason last year. So shout out to Rafael. Truly, I think he's probably my favorite Big Ten Network analyst right now. It's between him and obviously Katz, him and John Beeline, because that's my true goat. But Rafael, he does the best job, I would say, if anybody on Big Ten Network, in my personal opinion. Anyways, Rafael had a tweet yesterday that caught my attention along with many others' attention. And I know this because you and I got sent this tweet by like five different group chats yesterday. So I want to discuss it with you. I'm going to read the tweet word for word from Rafael. Again, this is after Braden Smith announced his return to Purdue. And Rafael's actually quote tweeting another friend of the program, Evan Miyakawa. So Evan Mia had the list of here are the college basketball programs that are estimated to have spent the most NIL money on incoming transfers. A huge part of Evan Mia's site right now is valuations for players that enter the transfer portal. It's a pretty cool feature, actually. And from talking to him at the Final Four, it sounds like some coaching staffs are taking advantage of this feature. Rafael Davis, kind of playing off the idea of players' values that Evan Mia has put out into the universe, asked a question on how much did it cost Purdue to retain their three superstars. I'm going to read the tweet from Rafael. Quote, my question is, what is Purdue spending to retain Trey Kaufman-Renn, Braden Smith, and Fletcher Lawyer? If you told me 11 to $12 million, I would not be surprised. End quote of that tweet. 11 to $12 million for three players being hypothesized here. This also comes a few days after, was it Travis Branham reported that he believes there are 8 teams in all of college basketball that will build an entire 15-man roster that totals $10 million. So just to do the ballpark range of comparisons here, if those three players were worth $12 million, that would presumably be the most expensive three players in all of the sport, more expensive than any other roster added together in the sport. Uh, okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to throw it to you. I think we
Mhm.
both have a lot of thoughts on this in general. What's your reaction to this?
So first, I guess first things first when we talk about this, there needs to be a moment of let's have a serious moment here. Let's have a serious discussion. And I understand what the three players we're talking about mean to Purdue, right? Like we talk about it all the time on here. Like Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer are one of the best backcourts that have come to the Big Ten in a long time, whether people want to admit it or not. Fletcher is like the third wheel of the group, but he's very underappreciated. He's a really good player. I think he gets a lot more shit than he actually deserves. Like people ragging on him is what I'm saying, basically. But also Fletcher Lawyer is Fletcher Lawyer at the end of the day. And these numbers being attached to these players, I like what do they say in math class when you're like in the fifth grade? Like show your work. I need to see some work on this because there's just no possible way that allegedly Braden getting what he's getting, which I assume is correct and honestly underpaid in my opinion. Um, there's just no way that the you get to the number that Rafael is speaking on because there's just no way that TKR lawyer and the rest of the team as a whole are making that much money.
Yeah, okay.
And that's not an anti-Purdue thing because I think Purdue is honestly hand up here. They put the whole like we're not going to play the game, we're not paying players thing to rest, in my opinion, this
For
year.
sure.
I think they've gone in the portal. They paid
This week,
yeah,
even.
this week. Yeah,
Like,
they have done that. Like I'm giving them credit. Let's stop there though. let's relax. This is still Purdue at the end of the day, and they're not spending that amount of money. Like, look across the country. Who is spending that much money on three players?
So that's a really good point on just like they are spending. And I want
Yes,
to
they
talk about
are.
that as part of this
Unequivocally
because
true, they are spending.
I think us sort of reacting to this and being like, Raphael, no way, come on, is not us implying that Purdue isn't spending or didn't do a great job fundraising to keep these three players. Um, but let's also be real about it. The only one you had to pay to keep right now is Braden. Let's just be as real can get about this. TKR was not going to hit the portal. That's not to say TKR would not get a huge paycheck from anyone if he wanted. But y'all have seen interviews with TKR. You know that dude's wired differently. He's the perfect Purdue player in the sense that like he truly just cares about winning and team and sacrifice. That's been the whole story of his career. He's not going to randomly abandon that at this point in his career with a championship on the line. So I don't think you had to spend crazy money to keep TKR. Respectfully, I know if you read Raphael's like responses, because some people went back at him for this, like Fletcher lawyer was discussed, like pulled out specifically here. And there's a tweet from Raphael that was like, I mean, based on the market, Fletcher's worth $2 million. Look,
What
we're
market?
we're in a world where Josh Dix is getting $2 million offers. So I don't want to sit here and say that's not what Fletcher's worth, because I would put those guys in the same realm.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Well, this seems to be a very clear divide point because non-Purdue fans are like Josh Dix is way better than Fletcher, which surprises me. And Purdue fans are like, dog, it's Josh Dix and Fletcher Lawyer. Fletcher Lawyer's a winner. So I think they're similar caliber players is all my point is. I'm trying to use that as a reference point.
Mm.
Josh Dix got $2 million offers this year. If Josh Dix can get $2 million, I believe Fletcher Lawyer could get similar. But again, he didn't enter the portal. I don't think this was a question of like, we might lose Fletcher Lawyer. We need to keep him. That's happened other places. It's just not happened to Purdue. And that's a testament to their culture. So I kind of view this whole conversation as like two different things, Cart. What are these three actually worth on the open market? And what are they getting at Purdue? And I think there's a massive gap there that, quite frankly, I'm a little surprised that I mean, look, I feel like Raphael is insinuating they might have actually been paid $12 million here. And Raphael's obviously closer to the program than we are, but we're close enough to people who know how much these guys are getting paid. And that's not what we've been told. So I'm a little like, I would assume Raphael has the answers on what they've been paid. And
Oh,
it's
oh,
not $12 million per what we've been told. We interrupt this Sleepers video to talk directly to you, our loyal listener. Have you ever found yourself watching us two idiots thinking, hey, I wish there was a very easy, small way for me to show a token of my appreciation for all of their hard work on all these videos I love to watch? Well, now we have just the way to do that.
thanks to the beautiful folks over at Underdog Fantasy. They are helping us out this month, presenting a lot of the content coming out this month, giving you a chance with a amazing offer that you can use using our promo code that Gregory will tell you more about.
Yeah, so college hoop season's over, but we got like big time golf tournaments. The NBA playoffs are coming. Baseball season's underway. There's still a bunch of sports on. There's still a bunch of ways to play with Underdog Fantasy. Promo code SLEEPERS. As a new customer, you can get up to 1,000 bonus credits plus a free pick. It's one of the most fun ways to play. It's a great way to support us. And on some actual like non-ad read stuff, talking genuinely here, really helps us because if Underdog loves us, if we get a lot of people to sign up, they're going to help us continue to bring you the content that you love. Show your support. Join Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code SLEEPERS. Get up to $1,000 in bonus credits and a free pick.
And also, part of this is I feel like the players on Purdue take discounts to play at Purdue, right? So, like, you talk about, like, all right, Josh Dix is getting $2 million. I don't think there's a world where Fletcher Lawyer is making more than $1 million. Like, I feel like that's what he would make on the open market, probably, if he did enter the portal. He's probably taking a little bit less to stay at Purdue, I would assume, but I would max it out at $1 million.
Can we go through each of these guys and just do an alleged? It's all alleged. Numbers are alleged on this program. Shout out to Coleman Hawkins who coined that phrase for us. It's all alleged. Let's go through these three on the open market in a hypothetical world that isn't happening. They enter the portal. What's the maximum amount that they would be offered? And by the way, as you mentioned, this is different because there's, hey, here's your check just to be here money. And then there's endorsements and everything else you can get. Look, Braden, let's use Braden as the most specific example of this since we know what's going on with Braden.
Hmm.
Braden's going to get more than he signed for. He has endorsements. He's got a State Farm deal. He's got other big things in the works that Purdue can help him with. Braden will be fine. He will be taken care of. But when you make the conversation or comparisons about like what could he make at Purdue versus what could he make elsewhere, let's just make sure this isn't lost on people. He can get endorsements elsewhere too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only gap is the sign to be here money. That's where the gap is. That's money that theoretically any Purdue player could have left on the table. And you're still going to do great. No one's saying you're not. But hypothetically, if you could sign somewhere for $5 million, you would make $5 million plus all your endorsements. Hypothetically, if you make somewhere between $2 and $3 million to come to Purdue, you will make that plus your endorsements. And I think that's sort of the big picture scope of this. So going through these three, Braden Smith on the open market. I mean, I believe the highest number I've heard for one individual player this summer that's transferred is $4 million.
Mm-hmm.
I heard rumors that schools literally offered a blank check to Braden. Name your number. I feel like it's safe to say at minimum he would get $4 to $5 million. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I was gonna say 6.
I mean, he deserves. If Yaxel Lendeborg's getting $4 million and there's other guys of that, Braden deserves like $7 million. But
Yeah, so I think fair to say 4 to 5 million.
the most conservative estimate for Braden Smith would be he's worth $4 million.
Yes.
TKR, if Braden Smith is worth $4 million, he's an All-American. I mean, I don't want to diminish this no matter what we think of him. On the open market, schools would pay TKR.
At minimum, he's probably getting 2 million, I think, on the open market.
I'm gonna say 3, man. Like he is a returning All-American 20 a game guy.
Your low end like 2 million. I feel like the low end $2 million number.
I want to give TKR credit and say he'd get $3
All
million
right,
dollars.
I can see him easily getting 3. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
Let's call Braden 4, TKR 3. So we're at 7 million. The only way we're getting to 11 million, as Rafe tweeted, is if Fletcher Lawyer's worth $4 million. He's not. Let's conservatively say Fletcher is worth Josh Dick's money, which is $2 million. Add that together. Those three on the open market might combine to be worth $9 million. Maybe that jumps up to 12 if Braden actually gets 7 million instead of 4 million. But I feel pretty good about our estimations with those other two. Do you agree on that?
Yes.
Okay, so just from that exercise, we can agree Rafe's estimations are generous.
Very.
Then there's what is Purdue actually paying them? And it's not $9 million.
No.
It's just
No.
not. And Braden might earn that in endorsements. I don't know. Maybe Fletcher Lawyer will get a gym membership endorsement. I don't know. What's TKR's sponsorship these days? Is a library sponsoring him?
Wranglers.
Figure it out. I don't know. Braden's going to be taken care of. I have no questions on that. TKR and Fletcher are clearly happy. I have no questions on that. Payne's done an A+ 100 out of 100, knock it out of the park job. I want to know what Oscar Clough got paid to be here. Probably a good amount. They probably emptied the bags. War Chest Paint, Pat Maynor, he's here. But fellas, y'all are not spending more than every other program in the country on 3 players. And the reality is Braden did take a pay cut to sign at Purdue. That's part of what made this so special. And he should be applauded and he should get a statue in the end of it. But like, I don't understand how there's a gap in acknowledgement of that right now, you know?
Yeah, I don't think it should be up for discussion.
What do you think they actually got combined?
So Braden allegedly and then
Are we going to say the alleged Braden number out loud or are we going to keep mumbling it?
let's just keep mumbling.
Okay. I feel like Purdue fans, for the record, like know the number or have heard it.
Do
It's
they?
all alleged.
Do they?
I think
Oh, well, it's just alleged. Continue it.
it's very alleged.
Very alleged. It's gonna carry the two. Um, I would probably say those three combined are getting, say, round up. I say 3.2 to 4.
As aggressively as I could possibly estimate this based on the number we've been told Braden Smith got, I would guess those three got $5 million max. But
That's
I think
max, right?
your number is probably closer to reality. It's probably closer to somewhere between $3 and $4 million for those three players, which, by the way, is a huge win for Purdue. They weren't spending like this on stars previously. They did
Mm.
not have to spend this much to keep Zach Edey, from what we were told. So this is all a step in the right direction. It's huge, but I mean, I did a double take at the idea that those three are getting more money than BYU's entire roster.
I need to ask Ray. There's no
Yeah,
way.
should we have just brought him on the show? Should we have just
I
asked him?
can't, maybe we need to because there's just no way. There's got to be something lost in translation here.
That's the thing too. Like, I want to give Rafe credit for knowing more than us because obviously he is all around that program and he talks to people and is a legend there. So I don't want to come on here and be like Raphael is wrong about Purdue, but I'm so confused by where that tweet came from. Also, my favorite part of the tweet, did you catch the same thing I'm about to acknowledge?
No,
See the order of the players that he named? He's so subtle with that. I love it. That's like narrative masterwork.
I mean, look, you gotta give credit to the modern day Carl Malone.
He for those that don't understand, he ordered TKR ahead of Braden in terms of the retainment list here, which if you followed Rafe all year, he is TKR's biggest proponent. He give him credit, he nailed the All-American stuff starting in November and he did become an All-American. So
Yeah.
Raphael was way out in front of that, but it feels like he's been a little dicier with his Braden beliefs.
Fletch always laughs, man.
Fletch always lasts, man. How do we think
Always
Fletch
laughs,
feels about
dog.
that?
Come on.
Yeah.
Free
We should
Fletch.
stop. We should stop the video. I just had such a devious thought.
I might need it.
I mean, if I'm like a BYU guy
Oh God.
and I see this tweet, I feel disrespected. No? Like if I'm
But
in the BYU boardroom who's like, let's give Rob Wright $6 million, and I see Raphael Davis imploring that Purdue is the highest paid trio in the sport, I would probably bring out my money cannons and say, prove it.
this is exactly why you should never be on BYU's board. It would get spooky.
Well, don't you like how dare you imply that we aren't the big bad dog here?
Right.
You want
Like
you want to go money cannon for money cannon, Purdue?
yeah. Because
All right.
because you because you're stepping out of line here. I'm gonna buy all three. I'm gonna buy all three for double what you paid.
There are some programs that could throw $12 million at three guys.
Yeah. Better hope they don't.
They didn't apparently. Well, actually, I think they did, but Paint just did such a great job getting these guys back.
Yeah.
So,
Harry's chocolate shop.
man. All right. Well, I still don't know what to do with all this because I feel
Rafe, we love you. You're just wrong.
we love you, Raphael.
You're wrong.
I feel like simultaneously I'm trying to be like Purdue has money now,
They do.
but also like we're taking the leap from like we have money now to like we're spending more than every other program in the sport. And that's
Oh,
where
okay.
I'm
Oh, you
baby
know
steps.
what? I just got it. I just got it.
What?
This is what we're forgetting right here. This is the Purdue thing. This is the
What do you mean
Purdue.
by that?
It's like, well, you know, this your stadium's loud, but I like we got decibels. Like this is taking it
Oh,
and like everything is in the Purdue lens. Like you're doing it your way, but but Purdue's doing it like this.
I got it.
That's what it is.
It's hyperbole.
Yeah. Bar.
Pur.
Burr. bar.